try to pull our hair to raise our body by ourselves. It is impossible to do this thing. If we trap in ocean, without external rescue force to save us, we will be drowning. In the Bible, ocean is meaning world. If the whole world is heading to dead end, the people can't do anything about it. We can do good deeds, promote moral and become good people. All these things are just reduce people's suffering. The evil force are rampaging this world now. Human can't defend the devil's attack, and this is why we need God's salvation. If we get on an airplane and this airplane crushed to ground, no matter we are king, president, genius, scholar, rich or famous, we can't avoid the fate of death. Not people or things in this world can save us from death, if we need to get saved, unless there is external force or miracle to save our life. Worldly spiritual teaching and false prophet will lure people away from true God. Moral decay is never a private matter. People do bad thing, they like to drag others to go with them. Worldly knowledge try to find out the beauty and function of nature. We try to figure out how nature work, so we can more understand the world and universe. There are a lot of religions pursue spiritual calmness and conscience awakening. It is only let people know how our life work, and find some way to let us reduce suffering and gain happiness. No matter how great our sin is, our God's grace is even greater. No matter how bad we are, our God can save us. God's salvation are prepared for everybody. Our sin is missing God's mark. Even we don't acknowledge God, exalt God, and selfish desires are sin. Sinful nature set our own trap in our life. Lots of time we know we cannot do bad things, but usually we don't have strength not to do it, and lots of time we know God existed, but usually we don't have faith to acknowledge it. Humans want to use various methods to get rid of sin to save themselves. By doing good deeds, we cannot be free from sin. The method of education, we cannot separate from sin. The moral method, we cannot be divorced from sin. The method of penance cannot dissociate from sin. The method of meditation cannot redemptive us from sin. Earthly laws can expose sin, but cannot remove sin. Sin is moral cancer, need doctor to remove it, otherwise it will spread wider and wider. Our sin is adding weight that chain to our body. Once we trap in ocean, it will keep pulling us downward. Unless we have outer force to cut off the chain of sin, otherwise we don't have the chance for survival. The sinfulness of man, and living under the rule of Satan and demon, man cannot be free from the bondage of death. Then the dead cannot save themselves back to life, and they cannot save other dead people either. So the creation of religion is not to make people get new life. We must rely on the power of true God to get saved. Our sinful nature desires and evil force temptations need to be dealt with before we can have chance to be saved. Good news is true God have power to remove these boundary for us, unless we are willing to trust Him and let Him to save us. There are so many religions and gods existed in this world, but not all religions come from the revelation of God. Not all gods can remove our sin and have power above Satan. Only Jesus died on the cross to pay for our sin, and all authority in heaven and on earth has been given to Him. Only He can lay a way for us to walk on truth to gain a life. God have authority, Maybe human don't like the way of salvation plan, but who are we? How can we against God? When we are struggling for our life in ocean, no matter God send us a plank, or a big wood or a small boat to save us, it is our decision want to get on these things for survival. We cannot expect God will send a big ship to save us. Salvation is belong to our God. He have power and final saying about everything.